looking at it isn't the red-blooded guy who's got urges. He has just baptized her into the Mormon faith. We're not talking that long after that, and he's wanting to have sex. Jeff, weigh in on this.
Holy moly!
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. I think the death penalty is off the table now.
Wow.
I think you have this fella. Yesterday, we heard he hands her the Book of Mormon, and the next thing there's oral sex in the car. The next day you hear he's asked for anal sex. The next thing you hear is that on the day of the baptism, he's the one who baptized her. She specifically asked him to baptize her in their church clothes after the baptism. He pulls her over the bed, and you know what happens now. Anal sex. What is that? The death penalty is off the table. These public defenders have done their job. In the end, I think she's going to get convicted, but all this testimony is going to mean she doesn't get put to death.
Okay, before we take a
That's right. This is about dirtying up the victim. I mean, that's the strategy here. It's really not ending up in a question of self-defense, although that is the rubric that is being used to get this into evidence. What it's about is saying he's a bad person, he's a hypocrite, he talks about Mormonism on the one hand, and then you know what afterwards. I mean, that's what this is about, dirty up the victim, because in the end, when it comes to the death penalty, very few people get the death penalty, and it takes a lot for a jury to do it. Killing multiple people, killing law enforcement, killing in very heinous ways, so that this could qualify for it. But when you don't like the victim in some way, when you victim, when you think the defendant has been in some way abused, now that's not legally abused, but when she feels like a prostitute, she feels used, he's baptizing her and then doing you know what to her. Those are kind of things that are going to make the jury somewhat sympathetic, and at very least, even if they don't acquit her, which I don't think they will not put her to death. Yeah. That's where I think this goes.
Well, great point there. Jeff, do you think, I mean, if you're Juan Martinez and you're looking over at that jury, do you think she's connecting with them? Are they feeling sympathy for her at this point?
I think she is connecting with both the men and the women. Now, remember, this is direct testimony. You know, this is their version. The prosecutor can play this in reverse. He could probably put on a witness. I don't know if it's on a witness or his friend who Travis described her as a nymphomaniac. So all the times, you know, they're the only ones in the room, both for the murder and all these sexual acts. So therefore, if she says it happened this way, well, you know, where's Travis to dispute it? There may be other ways, including friends that can say he described her as a nymphomaniac. So it's she that wants sex so quickly. And let's, you know, he's got to do something about that. But ultimately, none of this is going to justify murder as we've seen it right now. It will crescendo later on.
Right.
The easiest way to lie about things is to do things in reverse. You know, you tell the same set of facts, but you say who initiated it in reverse, etc. So that may be what she's doing, and maybe what Juan can do.
And to your point, even a couple of the defense witnesses, Daryl Brewer, ex-boyfriend, and Ryan Barnes, an ex-boyfriend, basically said she was, you know, aggressive sexually at times.